How you doing, everyone? Thank you for joining me again as usual. 3K to 25K day account challenge. Today was a really good day actually after having a very hard week. We made three trades. Actually, two of the trades we already covered. One trade we're swinging into tomorrow. I'll discuss that in the video, of course. We covered on MAS, held that trade for 2 days, made $333 on that trade. And then we had BRFS, which was a small penny stock trade. I expected more on it, but only made $10. Didn't want to take a loss, started to reverse on me. So I just let things be and took my profit. I will also be explaining the play that we took at the end of the day, which is Z. I'll explain my thoughts on that and probably my entry, my exit, and basically what I have planned out for this stock. Hopefully it goes our way. Like I always say, all questions are welcomed. All conversation is welcomed. Please feel free. Thanks again for tuning into the video, and I hope you enjoy. Okay. Let's get straight into it. Our two trades we covered today, BRFS and MAS. Starting with MAS, let's get straight to that. So, boom. Right? Let's open up our day chart. So I got into MAS yesterday, actually, to be exact. No, I'm lying. I actually got into MAS day before yesterday. So we got into MAS day before yesterday, end of day. I got in around, let's say, 33.10. And then we rode that through the day, which was a very slow day for us, which was yesterday. Nothing really happened. And then we basically held it through earnings. So earnings was this morning, conference call was this morning. I basically took a play on that, basically saying that they're going to beat earnings, and they actually did. So we got a whole $2 jump. We went from 33 to 35 in the pre-market. Now, what did I see in MAS? Why MAS? And I talk about this all the time. A lot of these stocks you will see is medium cap stocks. They're right in the middle. You know, they're not too cheap, but they're not too expensive. Why? Because these are the ranges that I'm confident in holding. Why? Because they're very consistent. They're not too volatile. So you can actually predict the direction that they're going into. If they have momentum, you can feel some insurity that it will go that one direction. If not, probably trade sideways, but most likely it will go that direction. So what I saw here was I got the pullback 2 days ago, like I said, came in at 33.10 and then went into the next day. So basically what I'm seeing here, let's zoom in a little bit, is we had this consistent uptrend working with us here. Our 6 EMA, 12 EMA, all acting as support, 50 SMA also acting as support, pretty spaced out, so you could kind of see that we have a very bullish trend going on here. And then you have basically your 200 SMA as your only line of defense, your only real resistance, apart from, you know, our other drawn resistance lines. So what's going through my head here is I have well, at the time when I took the trade, I have a $32 to $35 potential earnings. So between 32 and 35, around $3, I'm basically saying to myself that my exit will be around 35, if not 34.90. So at the time in taking this trade, that's already my entry. That's already my take profit. And of course, my stop loss is usually at my bottom support line, or usually I hang it right off of my 12 EMA line. So my exit on this play was at least 32.46, 32.47, around that mark. That's where my stop loss was. So I felt pretty safe with the stock. I actually sized up. So usually to maintain my risk, I start very small. So being that our account is small, the positions are even smaller. So let's say I probably started off with 50 share position, and then every day I kind of just added on because it kept going my direction to the point where I was up to 200 shares before this big move. And that's kind of what propelled us into the $300 range. Now, the reason why I got out of this trade was, let's go back to our 5 minute. I kind of seen that consolidation. I kind of seen that the whole day it was moving left. I actually seen this spike up to 35.81. In my head, I'm like, you know what? I should have took profits here, but we always let our trades run. We try not to basically leave our finger on the trigger and be quick to take profits. Now that I see this, yes, I probably would have been happy taking profits because my profits would have been at least 450. That would have been even better for us. But like I said, you never really know what happens. So it's like it's literally choosing between taking profits. This could have kept running. You know what I mean? Because they beat earnings. So at this point, I'm like, you know what? Hopefully they do spike up. The reason why I took profits is because this actually dipped all the way back down near the low of the day. So once I seen this dip back down, and then it seemed like the 50 SMA was crossing over, basically signaling a short-term downtrend, I wasn't confident in holding anymore. So I got out. I took my 333 profit and called it a day. But I could have hang on. I could have stayed in this trade because it actually closed above the 200 SMA, which could possibly continue running tomorrow. So I'm going to keep this on my watch list, of course, to see if we open up green and it continues to run throughout the day. I may jump back in, hold over the weekend to see what happens. But currently, when things are overextended like this, especially after gap ups, I'm very observant. I'm very cautious. So I really didn't mind getting out this trade and looking for a re-entry. The profits were good in this section. So just to give you guys some other indicators, even though those that I've already explained was the main reasons why I hopped into this trade, also you can basically look at your momentum here. So how I decide whether a trend is going to keep running, I use momentum and I use my volume average as kind of an indicator to say, all right, if we're floating around this volume and our momentum is consistently going up at a slow rate, then this trend is going to be held. We're going to continue on our bullish trend until further notice. So put together with the SMAs, the AMAs acting as support, and then putting your volume and momentum in place, you can basically get an idea saying how long your trend is going to last. So right here, you see in my day charts, I usually have my volume and my momentum. So that's all I really need to see. I just need to see that momentum is above this zero line and it's continuing to increase. And I also need to see that my average 50-day volume average is either near that line, on that line, or above it. So it's basically showing me that there's still interest in this trend, there's still interest in this stock. Moving on to our other play, BRFS. This is a very interesting. From here and there, you would see me actually dabbling into penny trades, penny stocks, and trying to see if we can really just quickly grow this account at a faster rate. Of course, as usual, I don't recommend it. It's not consistent. Penny stocks are moved by news, are moved by basically catalyst or manipulation. So it's no real fundamentals. It's no real chart patterns or anything you could really go by. Those things don't really apply. So please don't take the risk unless you're comfortable in taking those kind of trades. Now, what I saw here, I saw my 50 SMA cross over, and then I saw my 6 and 12 acting as a support. So I got in at around, let me see, when my momentum started to rise. I was on the third bar on my TTM squeeze indicator here. So basically, I'm seeing that my momentum is holding and it's consistent. So I'm making higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, and higher lows as well. So I got in around, let's say I filled 60, I'm sorry, $6.29. I basically rode this wave all the way up to 634, and I had a really tight stop loss because at this point, like I said, we was having a really tough week. I didn't want to take any more losses. I was playing this very cautiously, probably too cautiously, and I moved my stop loss all the way up to 631, basically saying if I get stopped out, I get stopped out with $10 of profit, which makes up for my commission, basically cutting this trade even, breaking this trade even. And then this ended up consolidating a little bit right here and rising back up to the 633, 634. So honestly, if I didn't set my stop loss too close, I could have probably rode this into end of day and seen where this would have went into the next day to basically, swing trade. Yes, I gave up a day trade for it, so it does kind of suck that I did that, but at the same time, I'm not mad at it because I would have never known. It could have went left. It could have went completely downwards, and we would have lost a whole lot more money because we were in here with at least 1,000 shares, a 1,000 share position. So I'm not too mad. So now the trade that I took at the end of the day, which is Z, as you can see, this is usually me slowly sizing up. So I start off with a small 100 position, 100 share position. Let's see what's going on Z here. So what I saw on Z, same concept like I spoke about before on our daily chart. We have the 50 SMA working as support, and we have our 200 SMA all the way up at the 45 line. So my mindset is my potential profit or the potential upkeep of this stock is from currently 34 all the way up to 45. That's a $10 jump. So let's say, for example, I ride this stock for a couple days, however long it may take. This right now has a potential to go up all the way to 45 until it actually hits some real resistance. Of course, we're going to test it at the 40 because the 40 is going to be our psychological level, but at the same time, 34 to 40 is still a $6 jump. So I'm thinking about staying into this trade for the long run. If you guys want to come on for the ride, like I said, it's all up to you. Can't give any advice or trading advice there. This is just what I see in my opinion. Once I seen this close green, I seen the bears try to bring this down past the 50 SMA, and it basically bounced back up. So you can basically tell that this is a strong sense of support right here. Your SMAs and EMA 6, 12, and 50. So being that we closed back above our 60, I'm pretty comfortable now saying that, probably this is going to continue running up. So now that I'm in this trade, all I can hope for is this momentum to continue rising up. We continue getting this kind of volume here. As you can see, it is on our 50-day average volume line and also on the TTM squeeze and our 5-minute chart. You can see we're going on a short-term uptrend because our 50 SMA is way down here, which is perfectly fine, and our 200 SMA also crossed over, now acting as support. So what I'm hoping is this stays like this. We go into the next day with a strong uptrend, probably pushing us up $1, confirming that our uptrend assumptions are correct, and then we could probably ride this trade for a couple days. If it goes my way tomorrow, I'm going to size up probably another 100 shares, putting us at a 200 share position, and then so on and so on and so on. I'll definitely keep you guys updated as well. I don't want to overlook this as well. This is another reason why I felt confident hopping into this trade. We saw that we had a good bullish catalyst here, including supply chains, retail planning solutions, all good things to hear, all good things to come. So we're gonna basically sit on that. Let's see what happens, and I'll keep you guys updated as usual. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Feel free to comment in the comment section your questions or your request for further videos. My next video will be on entry, exits, take profits, and stop losses. Someone definitely did request that, so I will get that video done as soon as possible. I'm just looking for a great example. But as usual, thank you guys for tuning in, for coming along the ride with us. I'll see you next video.